Welcome back to the channel. My name is Thomas Fletcher and I'm the host of the Military Social Work Network and the LCSW Network. If you're new to these channels, please do me a favor by smashing that like button, by subscribing to the channels, and by sharing this video with your social work colleagues and friends. The purpose of this channel is to create a community of hope and support, where social workers can come for relevant news, information, and inspiration. Well, welcome back to Ask a Military Social Worker. In today's show, we will be answering a question from Robin. So Robin states, new MHICM RN here of about 5 months now. I must say this is the most rewarding and fulfilling role I've ever encountered. I'm able to reach these veterans on a completely different level than what I'm used to. MHICM is my happily ever after. Any advice or suggestions would be greatly appreciated and welcomed. Well, Robin, thank you for sending this statement. You sent this statement from a previous video that I did on the MHICM program. MHICM is the acronym we use in the VA for Mental Health Intensive Case Management Program. So for the viewers that are not aware of this program, this is a intense case management program in the VA for veterans diagnosed with serious mental illness diagnoses such as schizophrenia, bipolar disorder, severe PTSD, major depressive disorder, and there's a few other diagnoses, but those are the most common ones. So the caseload in MHICM is no more than 15 veterans with SMI diagnosis. And the way the program works is RN, social work, psychologists, case managers, peer support staff go out into the community where the veterans are actually living and provide in the community case management. So assisting veterans in skill training and how to utilize public transportation, how to get to their appointments, helping them establish new healthy relationships in their community of choice. So Robin, as somebody who worked in the MHICM program for 3 years, I have personal experience working as a MHICM case manager, social worker. Great program. I think one of my suggestions is, which you've probably already done, just keep working with your coworkers, on an interdisciplinary basis. It's very easy for us to get into our silos of being nurses or being social workers or psychologists, but open yourself up to getting the perspective of your social work colleagues, if you have them, your psychology colleagues, if you have them, other disciplines, voc rehab, if they're on the team. It's so important. Another suggestion that I would have for you is to, just keep listening to your veterans. It's and that connects with my next suggestion, which is really familiarizing yourself with the SAMHSA recovery model. I did another video on this channel in the self-care shows called the SAMHSA recovery model. So I would reference you to watch that video where I discussed in depth about the SAMHSA recovery model. But if you're not familiar with the SAMHSA recovery model, familiarize yourself with it. There are 10 aspects of recovery. There's 4 dimensions of recovery. There's the working definition of recovery. So familiarize yourself with all of those things if you're not already familiarized with them. I think being fluent in the recovery model will help you tremendously as a MHICM RN, as a MHICM staff member, okay? I would also encourage you, if you're not familiar with your local recovery coordinator at your facility, to familiarize yourself with that person, because they are a subject matter expert on the SAMHSA recovery model, on how to provide the best recovery-oriented care to veterans in the MHICM program, as well as in other mental health and other programs across the VA. So familiarize yourself with that person. If you don't know who they are, then I would recommend that you get to know that person and to consult with that person, because the LRC is really a consultant on serious mental illness and improving the delivery of services to our seriously mentally ill veterans, and to really improving the overall care that is given to veterans across the board. SMI veterans, veterans with general mental health issues, and just really, the LRC is really responsible for promoting the system transformation towards a truly recovery-oriented care system. Let's see, if you are able to attend the monthly, they don't call them MHICM anymore, I think it's called Intensive Community Mental Health, those national meetings that are run by, I think it's Dr. Bradford. I think he's he's the national director for MHICM. Again, they call it something else now. Intensive. They rearranged the acronym, so it's no longer, MHICM. Now they call it something else. I think it's Intensive Community Mental Health Recovery. But if you can participate in those monthly calls, I think that will also give you kind of a big picture, and it gives you an opportunity to hear, because I do believe that they allow different sites to present best practices, so it'll give you insights on what other MHICM programs are doing across the country. Okay. Any other suggestions? Oh, yes. If you are not, if you do not have board certification in clinical case management, I would recommend that you go for that. There is one organization which I belong to. I am a board certified case manager with the Council on Case Management, CCMC. I always mess up what it stands for, but it's a credential for certified case managers. Okay, they certify nurses, they certify psychologists, they certify LCSWs. It's a very rigorous board certification, so I would highly, if you're already certified with a CCM under the organization is CCMC, but the credential is CCM, Certified Case Manager. Okay, so I just renewed my CCM at the end of November, and it's good for 5 years. Okay, it does require you to every 5 years you have to complete 80 hours of continuing education, but it's great. Initially, you do have to take an exam. I took the exam and passed back 10 years ago, back in 2011. I took the exam and passed the exam one day before I commissioned in the Army. So I have those two anniversaries back to back with each other. So that's another suggestion. If you don't have that credential, I would strongly recommend that you get it, and it will benefit you for the rest of your career, even after you leave MHICM. If you do leave MHICM, if I wasn't in my current job at the VA, local recovery coordinator, most likely I would still be serving in the MHICM program. You're right, it is a happily ever after program. It really is. And I would go back to, if I could get a leadership position in MHICM, I would be tempted to go back to MHICM. Great program. So I hope I answered your question, Robin. Thank you for submitting your question to me. And I would invite other social workers. Keep sending your both not only social workers, because Robin is an RN. So thank you, Robin. Please let your RN colleagues know who are working in mental health. Let them know about this channel. Even though my primary audience is social workers, you know, it's really about, you know, all licensed mental health professionals. We're all in this together. We may have different disciplines: nursing, social work, psychology, psychiatry, marriage and family therapists, but we're all working together in service of improving the quality of lives of people living with different mental health conditions. So I'm going to stop there, but I want to thank you all for watching this video. For all the social workers and other licensed mental health professionals, thank you for the work that you do every day, for your clients, for your agency, and for the profession. Please continue to support each other and yourselves. Bye for now.